This is Basement Bracket Talk.
Hey,
Welcome back.
welcome back to Basement Bracket Talk. I'm Steve Debitetto.
I'm Chris Candela, and we are going to talk about Kansas, Kentucky, Purdue, Wichita State, and your surprise team that we'll get to later.
Ooh, we're keeping the last one a mystery. All right, I like that. Yes.
So, you want to start off? We'll start off with that Kansas-Kentucky game in general.
That was a very, very entertaining game to watch because, neither of those teams were perfect. They clearly had flaws going for them. I mean, Devontae Graham was not hitting his shots. Which is
but he will.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about him, just totally how do I play basketball? He's not going to do that. I mean, you have rough games, and he understands that, and that's why his assists have been on point. He's been getting
9 assists a game.
Yeah, I think 8.5, 9 assists a game, which is a lot for him. I mean,
That's what he has to do.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
No more Frank Mason.
Yeah, but they do have Malik Newman.
Malik Newman looked good.
Yeah, he did look good, and he hasn't been scoring in crazy bunches, but he's a solid, dependable player. So I really liked what I saw from Malik Newman. But I think the biggest thing that Kansas had that Kentucky didn't have, Azubuike, man. That kid, Udoka Azubuike, he is 7 foot, 260, and he's not really an offensive player instinctually, but he's getting high percentage shots in the paint. He's been getting dunks.
And he's only going to get better, too. He's raw.
He is raw, and he didn't get to play too much last year from an injury, but he's that weapon for Kansas. I mean, especially if Billy Preston.
I don't know what's up with Billy Preston. I don't know if he's going to play this year. It's weird.
I hope he does. Cause
I hope he plays too.
They're a different team with Billy Preston because they're a little bit deeper.
He might play next game. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays next game. I wouldn't be shocked if he just didn't. I don't know.
It's kind of what we thought about Colin Sexton.
Situation.
All right, I guess Colin Sexton's out, and then Colin Sexton.
It's very weird. The NCAA is very weird.
Yeah,
I really can't even
weird.
I don't even know how to comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, we hope he plays because that's a better Kansas team with him. But
we want to see all the guys play.
Main thing, Azubuike was unstoppable. No one on Kentucky could defend him. No one on a lot of teams could defend him unless you have an Isaac Haas type player that's 7 foot at least, 250, muscly, where you could actually stand your ground when someone like that is backing into you. But he's got to work on his free throw shooting, Chris.
What did he shoot?
Dude, he's just not a good free throw shooter. His stroke is awkward, and I'm sure he works on it a lot. But I'm pretty sure he was 38% last year before he went out, and he's on track to be similar so far. And that boy's gonna find himself at the line, man.
He better.
He's going to.
They're gonna start fouling him if he doesn't.
Physical. And they're already fouling him because they have no choice because they can't guard him.
They can't guard him. Yeah.
So if he's gonna become an elite player that puts Kansas on top, even though I still think they're the best team in the Big 12.
Oh, without a doubt. And they have another guy, Gerald Vick, we talked about. That guy knocks it down. He's good. They have Newman, Vick, Graham.
They got a balanced team. Yeah, they're not crazy deep either, but
and they got Bill Self.
Yeah, Bill Self obviously knows how to coach. He's been getting championships. So
they got Sevi Mikhailuk.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, right. He's been there forever, and he's 20 years old, and he's a senior. He was in college, and he was 17.
Yeah, that's the move sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like Marcus Howard. He's
Howard.
18, and he's leading the nation in 3-point percentage.
Marquette.
But yeah, and on to their opponent though. Kentucky. I mean, they ended up beating Kentucky. I think the final score was 65-61.
But Kentucky had a chance. Yeah. They had a chance to tie it up. Knox missed that shot. Knox is great.
Knox is that dude.
I can't believe
he's going to be that dude for
He almost
Kentucky.
went to Florida State.
Yeah.
That
I mean, because there wasn't any other elite recruits on Kentucky. He's wait.
Yeah, he's I mean, that's pretty much probably what happened.
He's I won't be Isaiah Briscoe.
He's stud, Kevin Knox.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing really good. He was hitting threes in that game. He's one of the only members of that team that was actually having a decent 3-point percentage. I know somebody else had 33% so far in these first couple games, but dude, this Kentucky team's been struggling. I mean, they only beat Vermont by 4 points. They were struggling against Utah State. They don't have an Azubuike. They don't have a guy in the paint that's gonna rip them boards, and they also don't have a real 3-point shooting presence. No real threat. Yeah. So they have holes in that team, you know what I mean?
They need Quade Green. They need him. need him to come into his own, and they need him to be a stud.
Well, yes, this team is brand new. Like,
Yeah,
another thing to keep in mind,
they're the youngest team in the nation.
they're only gonna get better. Like with Quade Green figuring things out and getting things to like.
There's gonna be a
Kevin
Kentucky
Knox
year where they're
figuring
like
out.
in the tournament is like an 8 or 9, like when they beat Wichita State when they had like Randall and stuff.
Yeah, I think
they get in
more
the tournament
likely
like
to be
that, and like then they just like, but you don't want to play them. Like I know like 2 seeds can be like, oh, Kentucky in the second round. Like no, you do not want that
because they're not like full of weaknesses. They are talented with like athleticism. They're long, athletic, and they're quick.
and they can get hot.
Every move with them in that game was like a quick step, like move into the paint, like getting fouled, like going to the line. Like that's Kentucky this year, and that's all their guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they know how to get fouled. They know how to make moves in the paint. They're long. They could be a great offensive rebounding team. So time will tell with this team, but I don't think they're the best team in the SEC.
No, I think Texas A&M. We said that before. I think that might be like clear cut.
Yeah, I don't know. After that West Virginia game, that was like Texas A&M was like. It's like you can't really argue with that without their best players. Yeah. But I do think Missouri and Texas A&M is going to be a great game this year. I think that's one I'm
Florida
looking forward
too.
to mostly.
Florida's also.
Mm-hmm.
But then with Kevin Knox, he might be like the highest. He's gonna be amazing. Like with Kentucky, because Kentucky usually has like that balance with the freshmen. Like this might be the first time we're in a while where like the freshman just comes in and like he's that one guy who's like a stud. Like last year they had Monk and Fox.
Yeah.
Now it's like who else would you say like is up with Kevin Knox?
They had Bam Adebayo last year, right?
Yeah, and they had Bam too. Like they had all those guys. Like they were first round picks, but like who else besides Kevin Knox is going to be like, all right, we need a bucket. Let's go to like that's
I don't know.
The first time in a while.
There's potential for all these kids. I mean, there are like 4 or 5 stars on this team.
They're not as far along as Knox. Like I think Knox get a 20 a game this year.
Mm-hmm. He probably will.
Kentucky usually doesn't do that.
He takes that alpha role, you know.
Yeah, Kentucky.
I mean, like you said, Quade Green has like a wide open lane for the point guard position. I think he can figure things out and like learn how to work with his teammates and like really understand their strengths. Like he could be a breakout player, at least like a very like important player for that team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like, what was that like when Ulyss' sophomore year? He was like the guy.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like Knox now. He's got to be like
he was on the platoon, you know. Like, so he didn't have all that time in the world, but like then his sophomore year, like because Quade Green's not gonna be a one and done player.
No, are any of them besides Knox?
But time will tell. I mean, like we haven't seen them really break out yet.
Richards, I feel like has a lot of potential.
Yeah, no, Richards. He has he needs to get stronger though, you know, and up his numbers. I mean, he has to like take the initiative and like get his numbers up.
He's gonna get them going.
Yeah, Cal's working right now, probably in the gym, getting his guys to like work on what they need to do to get to the NBA. I mean, it's like what they do. But I'm real interested to see what actually happens.
So I like Kentucky, so I think they'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Biased opinion.
Let's talk about another great team this week that had a challenge at Marquette. Purdue Boilermakers.
Purdue, like we said earlier, the top 3 teams in the Big Ten. We got Michigan State, Minnesota, Purdue. You could throw them in a hat, pick it out, and you could just now you can make your prediction, and you'll seem like you know what you're talking about. Well,
obviously you can't talk about Purdue without mentioning Isaac Haas. I mean, Isaac Haas is their difference maker. Yeah. For in my opinion, I mean, like watching him play Marquette was like sad because like. He's 7'2", 280, 290.
Big East does not have anyone like that. You can't defend him. Delgado.
Boy just like backs into like Matt Held, turns around and dunks.
What are you gonna do?
Like that's like a classic like NBA type play. Like this guy's a senior too. Like
Isaac Haas would get 25 and 15 in the Big East.
Yeah, I mean, because like there's nobody like that. Like
Delgado's the only guy that.
But Delgado, he's got 6 inches on Delgado.
I know, but Delgado doesn't only do that. I feel like would actually like he gets like 15 and 13. Like he'll be the only guy that can actually do something.
Yeah, there's like levels to like size. You know what I mean? Like, there's like Angel Delgado size, which is big. And if you have one of those guys on your team, he's your center. He's that banger. But then you got the Isaac Haas level. And that's like the Porzingis level size too, like on the Knicks. Like when you're that big and you have control over your craft.
Yeah, he's a senior now.
You own the team,
gets
dude.
Better.
Like, nobody wants to play Purdue. Like I don't want if St. John's like was like an 11 seed and Purdue's like a 6, like and we're in the tournament.
Purdue's
like,
not getting a 6, Steve.
They're probably gonna get a 4.
3, 4.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have a chance, but I'm just saying, like,
I know what you're saying.
Like if St. John's drew Purdue in the tournament, I'd be like, well, might as well not even go because like Isaac Haas is just gonna
it's just ridiculous,
knock us over.
Not to mention they have Carson Edwards, who's sick.
Yeah,
just like the way he plays, like he's just like so aggressive. Mm-hmm. They got the seniors. They got Vince Edwards, PJ Thompson,
yeah,
all glue guy, PJ Thompson.
Yeah, they do have senior leadership on this team too. Like it's not the Isaac Haas show.
And Dakota Mathias drills threes.
Oh yeah, he's been playing really well so far. He's improved. He's got like 15 points a game and 62% field goal percentage.
In
the first 3 games. Yeah, I mean. They do need that, and that's what you see that happen with seniors a lot. You know, they play very mediocre, and then they
just senior year, they turn it on.
They figure it out, and they get along with their teammates well. And they got freshmen too. You know what I mean? Like when Isaac Haas is taking a break, like Matt Harms is coming in, and he's 7'3", 250. It's like Purdue,
Matt Painter just gets centers.
He and honestly, like that's something every team like wants, but you know you just can't always find somebody that isn't like a total liability. You know what I mean? Like usually guys that big are so uncoordinated, but like these guys can play and they play like valuable minutes. You know what I mean? So, damn, Purdue. I just can't wait to watch them more. I mean, Marquette shot hot like they always do, and that's why they stayed kind of in the game because of like Rousey and Marcus Howard and Sam Hauser. Like they were just shooting lights out, which is like what they do because they're Marquette. But like, you know what? Like. Don't matter when you can just dump the ball on a Haas and he'll get a dunk. You know what I mean?
And also Purdue, like they were always just like a kind of like grind out wins type of team. But like they have guys like Edwards.
They don't have to do that.
Like they shoot. Like this is like a Purdue team that like it's like kind of just it's just different. It's like it's not your father's Purdue. It's like when Wisconsin had the team that went to like with Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky. Like it was like different from Wisconsin. Like they were like throwing down and stuff. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like this Purdue this year. Like it's just different.
Definitely a great team.
They're not gonna. Yeah, they're fun to watch too.
Let's move it to Kansas because I officially confirmed after last week's episode that Wichita is in fact in Kansas.
back in the state of Kansas. Wichita State. All right, so Wichita State, they're ranked high. Like everyone knows, like oh yeah, Wichita State. Like everyone's always like oh yeah, they're gonna be good. Like they got this guy back. Then you watch them and you're just like, Wichita State is gonna win the national championship.
Blown away.
Like you're just like this team is just they have so much, and I feel like these guys have been there forever.
Yeah, like, they never graduate anyone.
Like and they have McDuffie coming back. Like they played Charleston. Jarrell Brantley was out. He's like their second best player. He was out.
Barely mattered though, man.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Exactly
I mean, it didn't matter.
Like, when you were like, I wouldn't be surprised if I turned on the game and like
they were
5 minutes are left in the first half and Wichita State's up by like 20. I would not be surprised. That's exactly what happened.
Like I was like, is either going to be getting killed or they're going to be, or it's going to be close. And like they just with Frank Hamp, Shamit's back early. He's back earlier in the thing. They have like just like so many forwards too. And Darrell Willis. You got Shaq Morris,
so balanced.
Zach Brown,
man.
Like it's insane. Like they just the way that Greg Marshall just gets these guys in, they're so deep. They're like them in Cincinnati in the AAC is going to be so fun.
Cincinnati,
those 2-3 games of those are going to be so fun.
Yeah, those are going to be the best games, and those games are the reason why those two teams like. Only one of them could potentially be a 1 seed. Yeah, without that, I'd say like Cincinnati and Wichita State are like balanced enough and experienced enough to actually show up teams like Kansas and Kentucky.
Without a doubt.
It's like it's really interesting.
Those are gonna be the games of the year.
Yeah.
Wichita State, Cincinnati are gonna be insane.
Wichita State, Cincinnati is like probably one of the more underrated matchups.
It's underrated, but it's the most hyped I am for a game. When they play each other, like that's like the most besides when for like Florida State and Hofstra play. Yeah. That's the most anticipated.
We're gonna have the popcorn ready, no doubt.
And we'll probably get 3 because they're gonna play in the AAC championship.
Yeah, I always say like AAAC too, like
AAC.
Yeah. I mean, at least they'll get wins. You know, that's why I think Wichita State can actually be a 1 seed this year. It's not like they literally can't lose.
No, they're gonna get wins because UCF too is also good in the AAC.
Yeah, UCF is good. They got some players out right now.
Yeah, they'll be back. They'll
be back. Taco Fall, man, like
he's the man.
Yeah, I mean he is the man, and he's a huge difference maker. You know, I love the centers on the teams because they're just like want one on St. on
Because
my
he doesn't
team.
want what you can't have.
Yeah, but like I also like totally see why they're so important and why they work out so well. So
Yeah, but just Wichita State, like,
yeah,
just picture like what St. John's isn't in the front court. That's what Wichita State is.
Yeah, like bullies in the
Yeah,
front.
like
Yep.
they just have, and they have like they have so many of them too.
Yeah, Wichita State, like you said, Wichita State, Cincinnati. You know, who else in the AAC can even challenge them? Can even come close? Like Temple, no.
I like Temple this year, but I don't think they're gonna. I think Temple will be a tournament team, but I don't think
Really?
they're not. Yeah, I think Temple's gonna be a tournament team. But I don't think they're gonna compete. They're not. I mean, I don't think they're not gonna compete. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll beat them once. Wichita State, Cincinnati, they probably won't compete with, but they're gonna be a tournament team. SMU lost a lot.
Yeah, SMU is not the same
They
this
lost
year.
to Old Gillette.
Mm-hmm.
UConn sucks. UConn barely beat Stony Brook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I saw the score and I saw Stony Brook was winning, and I was like, please beat them. Like
Everyone just kind of.
I can't with like the. Yeah. What?
Everyone just kind of hates UConn. It's like,
Nah, I do want UConn to come back to the Big East.
That's the only
I
thing that
would
would
like
make
UConn to
you
come
like
back.
UConn again. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but
I'm like, yeah.
I don't like them in this conference
No,
because
it's
it's
just
killing
weird.
is literally killing the program.
And I hate their arena too. All right, that's not the way UConn. All right, so let's go to your surprise.
Yeah,
team.
my surprise team of the week. Damn, it's the Creighton Blue Jays for me. I mean, compared to some of the things other teams have done, like it's not their accomplishments aren't crazy, but I am just very, very impressed by this team. Like Kyrie Thomas, who he's not really the main guy. It's usually Marcus Foster that you're talking about with Creighton, but Kyrie Thomas had 24, 11, and 5. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists in their game against Northwestern, which they won 92-88 at Northwestern. And that's a veteran Northwestern team. You know, this Creighton team like lost kind of a little bit, and then like people are like, how good are they really going to be?
They lost Patton, they lost Watson. Like that's
it's not
crazy.
A lot of players.
It's not a lot of players,
it's a
but
lot
it's like
of
a lot of
crucial
production.
talent. And they were playing without Watson the second
You gotta
half
remember
of
when they
last year.
had Watson last year, they were like a top team in the nation.
Yeah, but they also lost Watson.
Yeah, they
like,
they
midway through
lost
the
him. Yeah,
season,
and then
they weren't as good.
what were they, like a 6 seed?
Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, they still got a 6 seed, and their underclassmen learned how to play more. Like Marcus Foster started showing up, Kyrie Thomas started showing up, and now like that experience is translated over. The freshmen are playing well, and people were saying like Big East, you know, you definitely know Xavier, Nova, Seton Hall, Providence. You know those teams are in the tournament, and it's like kind of wide open. Like, you know, like St. John's has the talent, but they don't really have the depth or the bigs. Like, and it's like Butler lost a lot. Like Marquette can shoot, but their front court is not that great either. And so it's like Creighton is really like honestly the next team up to really show what's up in the Big East. They're definitely going to finish in the top half, I think.
Yeah, they're in that second tier.
And they've been averaging 101 points a game. I know it's only the first 3 games, but they did play Northwestern in one of those games. And this team can score. You know, they know how to score the ball. And Greg McDermott is just such a great offensive basketball coach. Like, if you can score, man, like teams that can't defend well, which is like a lot of teams in the Big East, like this team's going to rack up wins, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be really good. I love Marcus Foster, even with his Kansas State days. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I remember his freshman year at Kansas State. He got buckets.
Yeah, dude's crazy, and the team is sharing minutes very evenly too, which I think is a good sign. Like,
Yeah.
if your team is sharing minutes and like cooperating well and scoring very high, it means there's talent everywhere. Everywhere you go is a scoring threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So. Creighton's dangerous, man. I don't want to go out to Omaha, you know.
No, you never want to go to Omaha, even when they're not good. That
Best
place
arena
is a tough
in the Big
place
East.
to play. Yeah.
Definitely the best, man. But I think that's a wrap, man. That's all 5 teams for this section.
Yep, that's a wrap. And next week we're gonna come to you on a Tuesday because obviously Thanksgiving's Thursday, and there's so many games to just go over for next week. Thanksgiving feast week, so we got it Tuesday. It will be after the first day of the Maui, so we'll be able to wrap up some of the Maui games, and we'll be able to get into the PK 80, the Phil Knight one in Oregon. That's what that is.
So that's like one of the best times of the year for college basketball is that Thanksgiving weekend. So we have a lot of games to preview, a lot of teams to talk about.
We'll pick our winners for each tournament, and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
thank you guys for watching. If you like our channel, please hit this video with a like or subscribe to us, and
tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Listen to us on SoundCloud.
Yep. See ya.
This is Basement Bracket Talk.